Today, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest blocks to prosperity. It's something so common that I see people doing it all the time without even realizing. It might be a habit, a belief, or even just a silent attitude that you think is harmless, but in reality, it's holding your financial life hostage. Worse than that, it might be keeping you trapped in a cycle of debt, frustration, and limitation. I'll admit, I used to do this myself for a long time. But everything changed when I stopped. And today, I want to share that experience with you, because it might just be the key you've been waiting for. Before I tell you my story, I want to share something I received, a message that truly moved me. The person asked to stay anonymous, but their experience is powerful and needs to be heard. She grew up holding deep resentment toward her father. For years, she felt hurt, abandoned, and wronged. Recently, she began practicing Ho'oponopono as a form of emotional healing for her family. Her life was in chaos, severe financial problems, a brother struggling with addiction, constant tension at home. But even in the middle of all that, she committed to repeating every single day, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you." At first, it felt strange, robotic even, but she kept going. And within weeks, she began to feel a shift. Inside, space opened up. She forgave her father. She told him she loved him even after everything. And then, he showed up unexpectedly to bring her mother money from the sale of a property they still owned together. It came at exactly the moment the family needed it most. Since then, she's continued her Ho'oponopono practice, and she swears that money marked the beginning of a turning point, not just because of the cash, but because of the energy of healing and reconciliation it brought. Can you see what happened? She changed her feeling, and reality changed. Everything you manifest is directly tied to what you feel. While her heart was still locked in resentment, nothing moved. But when she forgave, when she made space, abundance flowed in. It was like a floodgate opening after years of being shut tight. Her story is proof that when we change our energy, we change our life. And her willingness to heal herself created the space for blessings to find her. That story reminded me of my own. For years, I judged my father for his behavior, just like he had judged his father. My grandfather had a destructive relationship with money. He gambled, made risky investments, and often left the family struggling. My father, even though he disapproved of that behavior, ended up repeating a similar pattern. He was obsessed with get-rich-quick schemes, always chasing the next opportunity, never grounded in the present. And I judged him harshly. I kept telling myself, he doesn't care about us, or he'll never change. It's crazy how generational patterns repeat themselves until someone has the awareness to break the cycle. And the truth is, judging him didn't change anything. It only made me bitter. I believed I was being responsible by criticizing, when in reality, I was just reinforcing the very energy I didn't want to live in. It took hitting rock bottom, our family having no food, no money, and no direction, for me to begin to see things differently. Sometimes the universe strips us down to the bare essentials so we can finally see clearly. My father turned to loan sharks just so we could eat. We lived like that for over a year. And in that lowest moment, something inside me started to shift. I began to wonder if there was something within myself that needed healing too. I realized I was carrying the same fear, the same scarcity mindset. It wasn't just about money, it was about emotions, about pain, about forgiveness I hadn't yet given. And sometimes, what we label as normal is actually what's keeping us stuck. I had to wake up to the patterns I was repeating, the energy I was feeding. I started to realize that everything showing up in my life was a reflection of what I was carrying inside. So instead of judging, I began to give thanks. I began to see my Father with new eyes. Above all, I remembered He gave me life. I exist because He made that choice. And for that alone, I owed Him gratitude. My tone changed. My attitude softened. I saw the good in Him, the things He had done right. And something lifted inside me. It felt like I had finally dropped a massive weight. What had once been a constant source of frustration now became an opening for grace. I started writing letters to Him even though I never sent them. I wrote everything I was thankful for. Every small moment He had tried His best. I meditated on those memories. I forgave Him over and over. I cried a lot. Healing isn't always graceful, but it's real. And then, something extraordinary happened. For the first time in his life, my father won a lottery prize. The amount was just enough to pull us out of the financial crisis. From that moment on, we rebuilt our lives. And it all started with an internal shift, when I stopped judging, when I chose to forgive, when I started to appreciate, everything began to flow. And more than the money, what truly saved us was hope. The energy shifted. And when energy shifts, everything shifts. The world responds to your inner vibration. That's not just spiritual talk, it's frequency. Emotion is energy in motion. When you shift your emotions, the motion of your life begins to change too. Everything becomes lighter, more open, and opportunities, financial or otherwise, begin to find you. So now I ask you, who do you need to forgive? What do you need to release? As long as you hold on to judgment, energy won't move. As long as you carry resentment, prosperity won't flow. Abundance is a frequency, and that frequency is made of love, forgiveness, and gratitude. Money can't resist the energy of peace. It flows where there's harmony. It flows where there is trust in the timing, in the unfolding, in the process of letting go. Maybe for you it's a parent, or maybe it's a friend, a partner, a former boss, or even yourself. Yes, sometimes the person we most need to forgive is the one staring back in the mirror. We carry guilt, shame, regret, and we think punishing ourselves will help. But it never does. It only blocks. The truth is, you deserve forgiveness. You deserve grace. And when you give it, the universe returns it tenfold. You were never meant to live in fear. You were born to expand, to trust, to thrive. Start today. Even just in your thoughts, say to that person, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Repeat it as many times as needed until you feel something shift inside. True freedom is internal. Don't wait for others to change. Change yourself. Because when you change everything. You become the channel through which light flows. You become the magnet for the life you've always dreamed of. I hope this message stirred something in your heart. Let it be the beginning of your new journey. Because yes, money comes. Prosperity flows. But it needs space to land. And that space is called inner peace. Free yourself. Forgive. Love. Transform. Expand. Let your healing be the seed of your wealth. And be ready, because when you do this, the money comes. If you've ever experienced a sudden shift that changed your financial life, or if you're curious about how changing your energy can attract real wealth, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your story or questions. Let's start a conversation and support each other on this journey to abundance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a tip that could transform your mindset and your money. Make it happen, universe.